Hello, my name is Anna Narvaez, and I was consumed by mental illness. And for a long time, no one knew. From the outside, I seemed just like any other girl. But inside, it was chaos. A silent, invisible chaos that dragged me down without anyone noticing. I was 13 years old, 13, when something inside me began to shut down. It wasn't just sadness, it was something else. A constant feeling of emptiness. As if life was slipping through my fingers and I couldn't stop it. I was dead, but alive. I breathed, spoke, moved, but I felt nothing. And when something finally hurt, I clung to that pain as proof that I still existed. I was dead, but alive. I breathed, spoke, moved, but I felt nothing. Well, I lived in that limbo, between what everyone else expected from me and what was truly happening inside my head. Living hurt, and I didn't know how to explain it without feeling judged, weak, or ridiculous. For years, I kept all this inside. Because when you speak up, they call you dramatic, unstable, exaggerated, because you're just a teenager. Because it will pass. But what remains unspoken, it cannot be mended. And what remains broken kills us. Today, I stand here because I chose to break that silence. Because I realized that the silence was killing me more than the sadness itself. And because I'm tired. I'm tired of a world that talks about mental health, suicide prevention, and empathy, but does nothing. A lot of pretty posters, a lot of talk, but when someone truly begins to shut down, everyone looks away. Why? Facing someone else's pain makes us uncomfortable. Mental illness doesn't fit neatly into a campaign slogan. Mental illness doesn't sell. Let's be honest. How many ads do you see on TV from the traffic department about speeding, drunk driving, seat belts? And how many do you see about suicide prevention, about depression, about self-harm? Traffic accidents take around 1,100 lives per year. Suicide? More than 4,000. In case you didn't know, according to data from the National Institute of Statistics, suicide is the leading cause of external death in this country. Every day, more than 10 people take their lives in Spain. And how the World Health Organization points out, a person dies by suicide every 40 seconds. And yet, silence. If we keep disregarding this matter, one day you might be one of those people. Maybe your mom, your child, your brother, but mouths keep shut. And there's just stigma. No emotional education in classrooms, no accessible resources. I didn't want attention. I wanted help. And I didn't know how to ask for it. I weighed 45 kilos. My bones were visible. My dark cycles, permanent. My soul, fragile. And no one said anything. Because when pain doesn't scream, people don't listen. And that is the problem. We are taught to silence our suffering, to wear a mask, to smile. And while we perform this false normality, an entire generation is drowning. We live in a society that glorifies productivity, perfection, control, but doesn't teach us how to handle a crisis. It doesn't teach us how to cry without shame, or how to support someone who's hurting without turning away. I'm not here to make you pity me. I'm here to speak for those who cannot speak. I'm here to speak for those who cry without knowing why. This too is a pandemic. It just doesn't make headlines. But despite that silence, in Spain, foundations in Spain, like Confederación Salud Mental España and Fundación Manantial, have spent years fighting for rights, creating community programs, and helping people rebuild their lives. They prove that there is hope, that little by little, more people are daring to speak, are daring to organize, and to help people go out from that silence that once almost killed me. When I was struggling, these resources were invisible to me. They didn't reach my world. But today, they prove that society can evolve, that awareness can grow, and that gives me hope. I was consumed by mental illness. But I asked for help, and that saved me. It was the first small step toward healing. Chaos theory teaches us that a butterfly flapping its wings in one part of the world can cause a storm elsewhere. Well, our minds work in similarly delicate ways. A small word of kindness, a gentle gesture, a sincere "I believe you" can create transformation. You don't have to be psychologists to save someone. So, what now? If this talk has moved you, don't let it end here. Start conversations about mental health at your school, in your home, with your friends. Normalize asking for help. Say out loud, "I'm not okay," and let others do the same. Learn to listen without fixing, without judging. Just listen. Share verified resources. Push for emotional education in classrooms. Write, speak, vote, act. Because we can no longer afford the cost of silence. Because empathy without action is just decoration. Because every person struggling with their minds deserves to live, deserves to stay, and deserves to be heard. So, the next time someone says, "I feel bad," don't stay silent. Reach out, respond, because that one moment might save a life. Thank you.